Welcome back to the Halacha series for women. We are continuing in the sefer called Otzar Dinim. We are in Halacha 9. Rav Yitzchak Yosef Shlita begins and he says, Isha she'ena tohora, if a woman is not pure, meaning she is in a state of nida, mutar la lehachin leba'ala et hamayim l'nitel yadayim shacharit. She's allowed to go ahead and prepare for her husband a cup of water in order for him to wash his hands in the morning. However, Asur la leftoach haberes kishiyadav tachat haberes kedei l'rchotzam. However, she is not going to be allowed to open the faucet while his hands are underneath the faucet in order to wash them. Now, a small introduction to this halakha. Any form of affection which a woman is going to show towards the husband, or even the husband is going to show towards the wife, is a very big problem when it comes to nida laws. So, give you a small example. Can a woman pour her husband directly wine? Absolutely not. I'm not talking about the kiddush. I'm speaking about they want to both sit down and they want to drink wine. Can they do that? No. Can he pour her wine? No. What about Rabotai? They want to go out on a date. She wants to use one cup and he wants to use the same cup to drink after her. No. Why? All these things are because it shows affection. Anything which shows affection, which can lead to sin, the Chachamim Chazal were very scared. So they made fences for us. So therefore, sometimes you see, a husband and a wife, they want to go ahead and they want to have one nice milkshake or banana ice cream, whatever it might be, and they're eating from that one banana ice cream plate. That you're not allowed to, because again, it shows a form of closeness, a form of affection. Or if they want to have a milkshake and two straws, because it's very nice, it's very romantic, no problem. Not when you are in Nida, because again, it shows a form of closeness. That's what Rav Yitzchak Yosef Shita is telling us over here. That when it comes to preparing the cup of water, when he wakes up in the morning, be my guest, go ahead, prepare the cup of water, bring it to him, or even by the sink, let him wash it, no problem. However, to stand by the faucet and open for your husband the faucet while his hands are underneath the faucet in order to wash them, that we're not going to allow her to do it. Why? Because she's pouring the water on him from her strength, and that's not allowed. Because the Halacha and Shulchan Aruch in your day edition brings down that a woman is not allowed to pour on the husband. For example, he wants to wash his hands, he wants to wash his feet, he wants to wash his face. Can she take a bucket or a jug of water and hold it like this while he's doing it? No, because it shows a form of closeness. So to over here, Rabotai, by her opening up the faucet, that in a way shows it's a form of closeness and it's coming from her power, from her strength. That's why we're not going to allow her to do it. However, he says, there is a way out. Aval, however, what happens if she first opens the faucet, and only afterwards he's going to go ahead and start washing his hands? Good. According to us, the Sephardim, we can allow this. But according to the ones that want to be stringent and they want to hold like the Rabbeinu Yonah, now if they want to be lenient, there's a way to be lenient through a indirect action. How? Can go, for example, small, that she opens the faucet with her left hand, not the right hand. The normal way is to go like this. Abnormal way is to go with the left hand. So he says, even if you have people that are stringent, that they're not going to go ahead and they're going to be stringent about the fact to open the faucet and only then he's going to come wash his hands, no problem. You can be lenient if she opens it with the left hand and only then does he come in and wash his hands. That will not be a problem. That he concludes, and he says over here, Kodem she'iten yadav tach beres. She's allowed to open the faucet indirectly with the left hand, but that's as long as he does not have his hand underneath the faucet. That was halacha number 9. Halacha number 10 says, what about children? Yesh lehanech et hayeladim haketanim litol yedehem shacharit ulechancham gam levarech al hanitilam. One should educate small children to wash their hands in the morning when they wake up, and also to educate them to bless the bracha of al nitzilat yadayim. In Halacha Yud Aleph, because this goes hand in hand, I just want to say this now. Af al pi she'me'ikar hadin, even though halachically speaking, any chiyuv litol et yedehem shel haketanim b'kli. There is no obligation when it comes for small children to wash with a utensil. Sharei gam b'gidolim, because even when you're dealing with adults, girls which are over 12, boys which are over 13, me'ikar hadin en tzarich nitila mikli. Halachically speaking, one does not need to use a utensil to wash his hands, because remember, it's only done for davening. If it's only done for davening, you don't need a utensil. The whole reason why you need a utensil is because, according to the Zohar, because to get rid of the ruch ra'ah. So he says over here, even big people, halachically speaking, they do not need to use a utensil to wash their hands in the morning. If he does not have a utensil, they're allowed to go ahead and they're allowed to wash their hands from the faucet. Believe bracha, but they're not allowed to bless. Nevertheless, even though we're telling you right now that when it comes to small children, they don't have the obligation to wash their hands with the utensil, we're going to tell you, nevertheless, it's correct to accustom them to already wash their hands from when they're young with the utensil so it can become part of them. You should pour on each hand 3 times. You should alternate, go back and forth, back and forth. V'im ein lo, like we spoke about in yesterday's shiur. V'im ein lo kli yitol yedeh ketenim ma'beres. What happens if the child does not have a utensil? No problem. Wash their hands underneath the faucet. Mikol makom, nevertheless, b'ketanim, when you're dealing with small children, kedei lechancham, in order to educate them, mutar lahem levarech gam b'nitila she'ena naset al yedei kli. You're allowed to go ahead and allow them to bless the bracha of al nitzil yadayim, even though they're not using a utensil. So we see over here in Halacha Yud Aleph that he's telling us, when it comes to small children, you want to try to accustom them, educate them in Hashem's mitzvot. The best way to do it is with a utensil. You don't have a utensil, no problem. They can wash straight directly from the sink, from the faucet. And by children, we have a special leniency. They are even allowed to bless the bracha of al nitzil yadayim because we want to educate them in berachot. However, when you're dealing with adults over 12 and 13, over there we're going to tell that the halacha is very different. Even though we don't require you to use a utensil to wash your hands in the morning, that's only because, according to the Zohar, we want you to remove the evil spirit. Beautiful, no problem. That's why we make you wash it. So whenever you're washing it with a utensil, then we're going to tell you should say the bracha. But if you're not washing with a utensil, you are only washing your hands underneath the sink, because for whatever reason you don't have a utensil, we're going to tell you, for adults, they are not allowed to say the barachot of al nitzil yadayim on this type of washing. I do want to make a small point, and it's brought down later on the Shulchan Aruch. People have to understand, you don't have to have a utensil this big, or it doesn't, Rabotai, you can even have any utensil which holds up to 3 ounces, will suffice. It's going to be fine for you to wash your hands. As long as when you begin to wash your hands, you have 3 ounces over there, you're going to be fine. So therefore, a lot of people feel that if they don't have a utensil, they don't wash their hands in the morning. Not a big deal. You can go ahead and you can try to get a container, right? They have. Or even you have these flat lids that if you put water inside them, like they have flat lids, if you put water inside them, it holds about 3 ounces. If it holds about 3 ounces, good, you're allowed to wash also from there. Anything which is able to hold the 3 ounces, you're allowed to use it to wash your hands, whether it be for the morning, for the shacharit in the morning when you wake up, or whether it be for the bread meal. Baruch Adonai Olam, Amen ve'amen.